My beloved son, I am here with you at this time. Before your eyes continue to try to find answers in what is visible, allow your soul to perceive what often goes unnoticed. There is a reality that your eyes cannot see, but that your heart can feel when it opens to my presence. I know the nights when you were silent, trying to hide from everyone what was going on inside you. I know the thoughts that came when the house became quiet. The moments when you looked up at the ceiling asking when things would change, when peace would return, and when your soul would stop carrying that weight. I was there. I saw every tear that fell without anyone noticing. I listened to every prayer made in thought. I have known every battle you have faced in silence. Perhaps the people around you saw only a smile on your face, but I saw the weariness hidden in your heart. My son, you think you are standing still, but I tell you, there is a work going on within you. While you look at that which has not yet changed, I am working in places which you cannot yet perceive. As you look at doors that seem closed, I am preparing paths that your eyes cannot yet see. While you believe that you are waiting for an answer, I am already strengthening your soul to receive that which I have prepared. My action does not always happen with noise. Often, the greatest transformations begin in silence, like a seed hidden under the ground. On the outside, it seems that nothing happens. But within that seed, there is life being formed, roots growing, and a new story beginning. So are you. There are areas of your heart that I am already touching. There are old wounds that I am already treating. There are thoughts that have long held your soul, and that I am already bringing light to liberate. You look at your room, and maybe you see only walls, memories, and difficult moments. But I see a place of encounter between us. I see a place where your soul can rest. I see a place where your pains can be delivered, and where your identity can be restored. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. It wasn't just a coincidence. There is something your soul needs to remember. Before this message ends, I want to reveal something that you may have forgotten. You have never been abandoned. You thought silence meant absence, but I was there. You thought waiting meant forgetfulness, but I was working. You thought your story had lost its meaning, but I was still writing each chapter. I am the one who knows the beginning, the middle, and the end. I know paths you haven't walked yet, and I see answers you haven't received yet. Joseph looked at a prison and thought his story was over, but I was turning that place into the path that would lead him to the purpose. Moses looked at the desert and saw loneliness, but I was forming a leader in him. David looked at a simple field tending sheep, but I already saw a king. My son, do not interpret your life only by what your eyes can see today. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Isaiah 41:10. Listen to my voice. I'm here. My son, remain with me now because I want to reveal something that your soul needs to understand. In this message, I will show you that what seemed like backwardness already carried an invisible purpose, that your tears were not forgotten, and that I was already working where you could not see. I will lead your heart down paths of restoration, showing you how deep roots were born in difficult times. If this word spoke to you, declare your faith and write Amen in the comments. I want your statement to be an expression of the trust you place in me. Also share this message and allow more hearts to receive this word. Don't go now. In the last few minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you, something your soul needs to keep. Stay with me until the end because I am speaking directly to your heart and revealing what has been happening in the unseen all this time. My son, nothing that you have experienced has been lost before my eyes. That which you call the painful chapter, I see as a part of the building which takes place within your soul. You look at the marks and remember what you have hurt, but I look at them and see places where my grace is revealing new strength. You think that room held only tears, but I tell you, that place also held encounters between us. It was there that you spoke to me without words. It was there that his weary soul found a place to rest. It was there that, without even realizing it, you started delivering weights that you had been carrying alone for a long time. I don't despise the times when you felt weak. I don't walk away when you can't show strength. On the contrary, it is in these hidden places that I begin to touch the deepest parts of your heart. You think you needed to hide your wounds to be loved, but I tell you, I knew each one of them before you could even explain your pain. I know the root of every fear. I know the origin of every insecurity. I know the words that have stuck in your mind and that have made you doubt your own worth. But I am bringing light to these places. Just as a seed needs to be placed in the ground for new life to begin to emerge, some areas of your soul needed to go through moments of depth for something new to be formed. You weren't being buried, my son. You were putting down roots. You think you were being forgotten, but I tell you, I was strengthening that which no one could see. A tree that has deep roots stands firm when the winds come. In the same way, I am strengthening your inner structure so that you are not carried away by any word, any fear, or any circumstance. I don't just want to change what happens around you. I am restoring that which happens within you. Because when your identity is healed, the storms no longer have the same power. When your soul finds security in me, you begin to walk in a different way. My son, perhaps you have allowed the past to speak louder than my voice. Maybe you've uploaded names that other people have put on you. Perhaps he believed that his mistakes were greater than my love. But I tell you, no human word is greater than what I have declared about your life. I see beyond your fall. I see beyond your pain. I see beyond the moment you are in right now. I am rebuilding your vision so that you see your history with the eyes of faith. Because what seemed like the end was only a part of the path I was using to reveal who you really are. My son, if this word has touched your heart, write Amen in the comments, because this act of faith I hear. My son, I have taken care of you even in the details that seem small. I have seen every silent battle, every moment in which you have chosen to continue, even without understanding the path. I know the days when his strength seemed to run out, but even in those moments there was an unseen force sustaining his steps. You think you were surviving alone, but I tell you, my hand was holding you. While his eyes saw only the delay, I was working in depth. While your mind was looking for outward signs, I was strengthening your confidence within. While you were asking when the change would come, I was already preparing your heart to recognize that which was being formed. My son, there are seeds that need to remain hidden for a while before they break through the earth. If one were to look only at the surface, one would think that seed was forgotten. But I knew that there was life happening in silence. So is his journey. You think the difficult period was a place of abandonment, but I tell you, it was a place where your roots grew. You think the silence was an absence of my voice, but I tell you it was a time when I was teaching your soul to listen in a deeper way. I do not always speak through great events. Many times I reveal myself in the small details, in the deliverances that you did not notice, in the doors that I closed to protect you, in the opportunities that came at the right time. I was there when you didn't understand. I was present when you questioned. I was there when you thought there was no way out. My son, do not confuse silence with distance. A root grows in the dark, but that doesn't mean it's dead. On the contrary, it is in the hidden place that it finds the strength to sustain what will one day appear on the surface. I'm working on the parts of your life that no one sees. I'm touching old thoughts. I'm bringing healing to memories that still hurt. I'm strengthening your consciousness so that you are not controlled by the fear of tomorrow. You wanted an immediate answer, but I was building a permanent transformation. You just wanted me to change a situation, but I was forming a new version of you within that situation. Because, my son, an open door without preparation can become a burden. But an open door, after an inner transformation, becomes an opportunity to fulfill what I have put inside you. Look back and realize how many times you thought you couldn't do it, but you did. How many times have you thought it would be the end, but found the strength to continue? How many times have you believed that there was no way, but a new direction has emerged? I was there. I was driving. I was taking care of it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. My child, Surrender to me, that which you still try to control. Allow my peace to reach the places where anxiety has tried to make its abode. I am in your room because I want to remind you that you don't have to carry alone what was never made for you to carry. I keep moving the invisible. I continue to work where your eyes can't reach. I continue to be God, waiting for you. My son, right. Lord, I believe. And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My child, I remain because my love does not change when you reveal your weakest parts. I remain because I have never loved only your strength. I have always loved your essence. You think you need to hide your tears so that I can stay close. But I tell you, it is precisely the places where you feel most broken that I find space to pour out my restoration. I'm not afraid of your wounds. I am not frightened by your questions. I don't shy away from the parts of your history that you'd like to erase. I know everything, and yet I chose to walk with you. My son, you often try to close doors within your soul because you believe that some memories are too difficult to touch. But I am entering these places with my light, not to condemn you, but to heal that which has been hidden for so long. You think that remembering the pain means returning to the suffering, but I tell you, when my presence touches a memory, it ceases to be just a wound and begins to become a proof of my faithfulness. I don't want you to live stuck in what happened. I want you to realize what I am already doing through what has happened. The seed that falls to the ground goes through a process that seems like a loss. Her appearance changes, her old form disappears, but within her, there is a new life being formed. So is your soul. Some old versions of you had to die so that a new identity could be born. You think you've lost parts of yourself, but I tell you, I was removing weights that kept you from growing. I was taking away guilt that you carried without having to carry. I was breaking invisible chains that held his thoughts. My child, do not allow your greatest pain to become your greatest definition. You are not the abandonment you suffered. You are not the rejection you received. You are not the mistake you made. You are someone my grace keeps reaching out. Look at Peter. He thought his denial would be the end of his story. He cried that he had failed, but I could see beyond that moment. I saw a heart being restored. I saw someone who would still be used to strengthen others. Because I don't just see where you have fallen. I see where you can go when you allow my hand to lift you up. Arise, shine, for thy light comes, and the glory of the Lord riseth upon thee. Isaiah 61. My son, I am already bringing light to places which have remained dark for a long time. I am already healing thoughts that have been hurt by harsh words. I am already restoring the way you see yourself. Your story didn't end in the place where you got hurt. I'm still writing, I'm still forming, I'm still restoring. Allow my presence to touch that which you have hidden for so long. My son, if you believe that I am healing your soul, write in the comments, Lord, restore my heart. My son, I continue to lead your steps even when you believe you have lost direction. I know there are times when you look back and try to understand why certain paths didn't stay open. You remember doors you wanted to walk through, people you imagined would stay, and plans that seemed so right, but took another turn. Then his soul asked, Lord, why did this happen? I heard that question. I know this pain, but I want to reveal something deeper to your heart. Not every closed door was a loss. Some doors were closed because I was protecting that which I have put inside you. You think you missed an opportunity, but I tell you, sometimes I was delivering you from a place that would hinder your growth. You think that someone left your life because you were not enough, but I tell you, some separations were protection so that your identity would not be built on people who did not know your worth. You think that a broken path means failure. But I tell you, some interruptions are my hand, redirecting your steps. Joseph did not understand when he was sold by his own brothers. He did not understand when he left his home and was taken to an unknown land. To human eyes, it seemed that his life was spiraling out of control. but I was above the circumstances. The path that seemed to lead him away from purpose was exactly the path that brought him closer to that which I had prepared. My son, there's a difference between being lost and being led down a path that you do not yet understand. A seed does not know where its roots are growing. It just remains in the place where it was planted, while an invisible transformation takes place underground. So are you. I'm working in areas that you can't see yet. I'm lining up details that seem disconnected. I'm using experiences you thought didn't make sense to form a bigger story. You look at a small part of the painting and believe that there's a mistake, but I see the complete work. I know the colors that will still be added. I know the details that are yet to be revealed. I know the purpose that is being formed through each phase. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do everything. Psalm 37:5. My child, trusting me does not mean understanding all the details. It means resting, knowing that my vision is greater than yours. I haven't lost control of your story. I have not forgotten your prayers. I haven't abandoned your dreams. Even when you walked along roads you did not choose, my presence continued to accompany you. I'm in your room now because I want to remind you that your worth doesn't depend on the path you've taken. His identity was not lost in the difficult moments. Its purpose did not disappear in the unexpected changes. I'm still guiding you. I'm still revealing new paths. I am still showing that what seemed like confusion carried my direction. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My child, remember those who walk with you, because fear often grows when your memory forgets my presence. You look at the size of the storm, but you forget who is inside the boat. You think the problem is greater than your strength, but I tell you, my presence in you is greater than any situation that tries to shake your peace. I know the thoughts that come in during the night. I know those worries that try to occupy your mind and steal your tranquility. I know the times when you try to stand firm on the outside, while on the inside you feel a battle going on. But I am there. I'm in your room. I'm in the silence of the early morning. I'm in that moment where you close your eyes and try to find rest. You think you are facing everything alone, but I tell you, there is an invisible hand supporting you, even when your own strength seems to run out. Just as a house stands firm during a storm, because it has a deep foundation, I am strengthening its roots so that the winds of life do not destroy what I am forming within you. You don't have to deny the existence of storms. You need to remember who is with you during them. The disciples saw the waves growing, heard the sound of the wind, and felt fear taking over their hearts. They looked at what was around them and forgot the one who was with them. How many times have you done the same? You have looked at the difficulties and forgotten the deliverances that I have already brought. You have looked at the closed doors and forgotten the doors that I have opened. You have looked at the current battles and forgotten about the ancient battles you won by my grace. My son, I am not only by your side when everything is quiet. I am present in the midst of the storm. My presence does not depend on the circumstances. My peace is not born when all problems disappear. My peace is born when your soul understands that there is someone greater taking care of every detail. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give it to you as the world gives. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:27. You think you need to control everything to feel safe, but I tell you, true security lies in trusting that I continue to rule over that which your hands cannot reach. There are invisible battles going on, but there is also an invisible protection surrounding you. I am fortifying your mind against thoughts that try to destroy your hope. I'm bringing light to places where fear has tried to cast shadows. I am reminding your soul of a truth that no circumstance can erase. You belong to me. My child, when fear knocks on the door of your heart, remember that my presence is already within your home, within your history and within your journey. I'm bigger than the one who tries to scare you. I am greater than what you do not understand. I am bigger than any battle your eyes can see. State in the comments, I get that word, and by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My son, you are not what happened to you. You are what I have declared about you. Hold this truth within your soul, because many voices have tried to make you forget who I always knew you were. You think that your worth has diminished because of the mistakes you have made, but I tell you, your mistakes have never been greater than my mercy. You think that the doors that have closed define your capacity, but I tell you, a closed door does not change what I have placed inside you. You think that the words of rejection you have heard reveal who you are, but I tell you, my voice is greater than any human word. My son, before anyone knew your name, I already knew your essence. Before anyone pointed out their flaws, I already saw the purpose hidden within their story. I don't see you like the world does. The world looks at results, but I look at roots. The world observes appearances, but I observe the heart. The world remembers the falls, but I see every time you have risen by the strength I have put into you. There's a seed inside you that many people have not been able to see. Perhaps you have not even noticed, because the pains, fears, and opinions of others have tried to cover up what I have planted. But a hidden seed still possesses life. A hidden root is still growing. A keen promise is still being formed. My son, I am now touching places of your consciousness where you have learned to diminish yourself. I'm bringing light to thoughts that made you believe it would never be enough. I didn't raise you to live constantly seeking people's approval. I did not form your soul to be controlled by comparisons. You do not need to prove to me what I already know. I know your struggle. I know your effort. I know the times when you continued, even without receiving recognition. And I want to remind you, your worth was not born of your achievements. Your value was born of my love. When you understand this, something changes within you. You stop walking trying to convince the world of who you are, and you start walking conscious of who I said you are. I called David when he was still in the field, away from the important eyes. People saw only a young man tending sheep, but I already saw a prepared heart. I don't need everyone to acknowledge what I already know. My son, do not allow the past to be the main voice of your story. The past may explain some marks, but it does not have the authority to define its future. I'm restoring your identity. I'm rebuilding your confidence. I am reminding your soul that you are loved before you do anything, before you conquer anything, and before you prove anything. He that began a good work in you will certainly complete it until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. My work in you continues to happen. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who need to hear the most, who have not been forgotten. My son, do not allow what your eyes see today to be the last word on your story. You think that you have come to an end because a door is closed, because an answer has taken a long time, or because a situation seems impossible to change. But I tell you, there are beginnings hidden in places that seem like closures. I work where you believe there is no longer a solution. I act where your hope has grown weary. I enter places where you believe nothing else can be restored. You think you missed an opportunity, but I tell you, what came out of your hands never left mine. You think a dream has died, but I tell you there are seeds that stay alive even when they seem forgotten underground. Lazarus was in a situation that, to human eyes, seemed definitive. People looked at that reality and concluded that there was nothing more to do, but they did not know the power of my presence. That which seemed like the end revealed a manifestation of my glory. My son, you often look at some areas of your life and say, there is no hope left. You look at broken relationships, interrupted dreams, lost paths, and parts of your soul that have gone dormant. But I see it differently. You see a stone closing a story. I see a door that my hand can move. You see an endless night. I see the dawn approaching. You see dry ground. I see a seed waiting for the right moment to bloom. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Luke 1:37. I'm not limited by the time that has passed. I am not limited by the circumstances surrounding you. I'm not limited by the words that said there was no other way. My son, I am the one who calls life where everyone sees only absence. I am the one who restores that which seemed lost. I am the one who touches places that no one else can reach. But there is something I want to reveal to your heart. Before restoring that which is without, I often begin by restoring that which is within. Because a renewed soul can see new possibilities. A healed heart can receive new beginnings. A transformed mind can perceive paths that were previously hidden. You think you must first see to believe, but I tell you, it is often faith that opens your eyes to see what I am already doing. I'm already touching areas of your life that seemed forgotten. I am already awakening hope in places where fear has tried to live. I am already bringing light to parts of your story that you believed would remain in darkness. My son, do not bury that which I am still working on. Do not declare dead that which I am still dealing with. Do not close the door where I am still writing a new page. My presence continues to enter your room, reaching your soul and reminding you that no difficult chapter has the power to stop what I am forming. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My child, this is the moment when I want to seal a truth within your heart. You have never been abandoned. Even when your eyes did not perceive my presence, I was sustaining you. Even when no one noticed his struggle, I was strengthening his steps. I was on that day where you thought you couldn't go on. I was on that night when his soul felt tired. I was at that moment where you looked at your own history and asked if there was still a purpose for you. You think you have walked alone, but I tell you, every step has been accompanied by my hand. You think that you have come this far only by your own strength, but I tell you, there has been an invisible force sustaining you in the moments when your own strength has run out. My child, you often look for great signs of my presence and do not notice the small miracles that have already happened on the way. You've woken up another day. You have found the strength to continue. You've been through situations that you once thought would destroy you. This is also my presence. This is also my care. I was watching over you when you couldn't even notice. Behold, I am with you always, to the end of the world. Matthew 28:20. That promise doesn't depend on your emotions. It doesn't depend on you feeling something extraordinary every day. My presence remains even when your feelings are confused. My son, you think that the distance between us happened because you went through difficult times, but I tell you, I have never moved away from you. Sometimes pain creates a fog before your eyes and makes you believe that you are alone. But the fog does not remove the sun. It just prevents you from seeing your light in that moment. So too is my presence. Even when you do not see, I am still God. Even when you don't understand, I go on caring. Even when you don't feel it, I remain close. I'm in your room because I want to reach a part of your soul that has long needed to hear this. You're seen. I see your concerns. I see your questions. I see your hidden tears. I see the thoughts you've never told anyone. And yet, I remain. My love does not diminish on difficult days. My fidelity doesn't change when your journey gets complicated. I don't just love your victory. I love you throughout the process. You think that the difficult chapter defines your story, but I tell you, it is only a part of what I am forming. A tree does not reveal its full strength while it is still taking root. There is a quiet preparation going on before the fruits appear. So is your life. I'm already strengthening areas that no one sees. I'm already restoring parts that you thought would never change. I'm already working inside you. My son, do not stop now. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment. My son, I am taking care of your roots, because I know that what remains standing must first be strengthened in the place that no one sees. You look at the surface and look for signs of change, but I look into the depth and I see a transformation happening. You think that silence means that nothing is happening, but I tell you, silence is often the place where I prepare that which will be revealed at the right time. Before a tree offers shade, it needs to withstand the process of growing downward. Before its branches reach great heights, its roots must find firmness. So is your life. You want visible results, but I am forming invisible foundations. You desire quick answers, but I am strengthening your ability to stand firm when the answers come. My child, do not be in a hurry with that which I am carefully building. You think that time is passing against you, but I tell you, the time in my hands is working in your favor. There are things that I do not reveal immediately, because I first need to prepare your heart to recognize the value of what I am forming. A child does not receive in his hands what he is not yet mature enough to take care of. In the same way, I am working within you before I place before your eyes that which your soul awaits. I'm removing old fears. I'm strengthening your confidence. I am teaching you to depend less on what changes and more on what remains. My son, some roots grow in the darkness of the earth, but that does not mean they are lost. On the contrary, it is in this hidden place that they find the strength to sustain the fruits to come. You think that the difficult times have diminished you, but I tell you, they are revealing a depth that you did not yet know. You think that the tears have weakened your walk, but I tell you, many of them have watered seeds that I have placed within you. Nothing I delivered to you has disappeared. Nothing that I have started in your life has been abandoned. My hand keeps working. My word continues to act. My presence continues to reach places where no one can reach. I am persuaded that he who began a good work in you will certainly complete it until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. My son, I am not just building a semblance of change. I am forming a true transformation which begins in the heart and reaches all areas of your life. Because that which is born only from circumstances can disappear when circumstances change. But what is born from the deep roots remains even when the winds arrive. I'm strengthening you in secret. I am preparing your soul to carry new levels of faith, wisdom, and trust. I am showing that you do not need to be seen by everyone to be cared for by me. There are works that I perform away from human eyes. There are answers that first arise in the spirit before they appear on the path. Continue to allow my presence to reach your depths, because it is there that I am forming that which will be revealed at the right time. My son, I want you to look at your history with new eyes. Don't just look at the years that have passed. Look at all that I have built within you along this path. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. You think you have stood still, but I tell you, I was strengthening your roots. You think that nothing has changed because the circumstances have remained the same, but I tell you, many of the greatest changes have taken place within your soul. I don't count time like you do. You look back at the days that have passed and think about the opportunities that didn't come, the choices you wish you had made differently, and the moments that seem to have been wasted. But I look at every detail. I saw each learning hidden in a difficulty. I saw each maturation that was born from a weight. I've seen every time you had to keep going, even without understanding why. My son, you wanted to get to the destination quickly, but I was preparing you to stay at it, because receiving something before the right time can be a burden to a heart that is not yet prepared to carry it. Often, what you call delay is my protection. What you call delay is a process of strengthening. What you call loss is a preparation for something deeper. Moses spent years in the palace learning about leadership, but he also spent years in the wilderness learning about addiction. To human eyes, it seemed that a part of his life had been interrupted. But I was forming in him characteristics that would be necessary for the purpose I placed in his hands. The desert was not the end, it was a school of the soul. My son, there are deserts that do not appear to destroy your hope, but to remove that which prevents your true identity from flourishing. In the desert, many distractions disappear. In silence, many masks fall. In waiting, many illusions are revealed. And then you begin to realize who you really are when you don't have applause, when you don't have quick answers, and when you have to rely only on my presence. Everything has its appointed time, and there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. I didn't miss a second of your walk. I was present when you celebrated. I was present when you cried. I was present when you thought about quitting. You think you have just gone through a difficult phase, but I tell you that phase was also forming you. Night does not disappear all at once. First, small light signals begin to appear. The darkness loses strength little by little until dawn comes. So too is my work in your life. Perhaps you still don't see everything clearly, but I am already bringing understanding into your soul. I'm already transforming your way of seeing. I am already preparing you to recognize the value of everything that has been built in the secret. My son, this word did not come to you by chance. Write in the comments, I trust God, and let that be your act of faith for me today. My child, my presence does not only change circumstances. My presence transforms people. I don't look at your story only for the difficult pages you have lived. I look at what is being formed through them. You think that pain has stolen parts of you, but I tell you, in my hands, pain can reveal parts that were hidden. You think that what happened destroyed your dreams, but I tell you, I am still working in the places where you believed that everything was over. There are wounds that have made you build walls around your heart. You have learned to protect yourself, to hide feelings and not to show weakness. You believed that if no one knew your pain, no one could hurt you again. But I am touching these places carefully. I'm not coming in to condemn your defenses. I'm coming in to show you that you don't have to live trapped behind them. My son, a house with closed doors can keep out dangers, but it also keeps out light. And I am bringing my light into your soul, reaching areas that have been dark for a long time. You think you need to forget everything to be healed, but I tell you, many times healing happens when you allow me to transform the meaning of what you have experienced. I don't erase your history. I redeem your story. I don't take back your walk. I reveal the purpose hidden in her. See a tree that has experienced strong winds. Her marks remain on the torso, but these marks also show that she remained standing. The storms have not been able to uproot their roots. So are you. The marks that remained are not proof that you lost. They are reminders that you have gone through difficult times and my hand has been sustaining you. You think your scars only tell a story of suffering, but I tell you, they also tell a story of survival, growth, and restoration. I am teaching you to look at the past without being imprisoned by it. I'm healing the guilt that tried to define you. I am healing the shame that tried to hide his identity. I am healing the sadness that tried to convince you that there would never be joy again. My son, that which has wounded your heart can also become a place where you recognize the pain of other hearts. Because those who have been comforted by me learn to offer consolation. Those who have received my mercy learn to see with compassion. Joseph did not imagine that the betrayal of his brothers would be part of the path to save many lives. He cried, suffered, and went through places he didn't choose. But I was turning each step into preparation. I do this because I see beyond the present moment. I see seeds where you see losses. I see purpose where you see wounds. I see restoration where you see only difficult memories. My son, I am already working on the meaning of your story. I am already touching deep places in your soul and showing you that what tried to break you will not have the last word. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it. I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you've heard what's next. My son, because when your spiritual eyes are opened, you begin to see that you have never walked alone. You begin to realize that many moments when you thought you were directionless were moments when my hand was leading you in a way that you could not yet comprehend. You think you need to see everything clearly to trust me, but I tell you, true trust is born when your soul recognizes my presence, even before it sees all the details. There are things that I am already doing that have not yet come to your eyes. I'm already working on conversations you haven't heard yet. I'm already preparing paths that you haven't found yet. I'm already lining up details that seem small but that are part of a larger work. My son, You often look for great events and expect my action to be accompanied by something extraordinary. But I also reveal myself in the small movements, the silent deliverances, and the changes that take place within your own heart. You think that the miracle is only that which changes without, but I tell you, often the greatest miracle is that which I transform within you, when you once reacted with fear, and now you can remain at peace. This is my action. When you once carried heavy guilt and can now breathe with hope, this is my restoration. When you didn't see a way out before, and now you can keep walking, that's my presence strengthening your soul. My son, I am opening your eyes so that you realize that not everything that is important can be seen. You don't see the wind, but you feel its effects. You don't see the root, but you know that it supports the tree. The dawn light begins to emerge before the day is completely clear. So is my action in your life. There are signs of my presence all around you, but sometimes fear, anxiety, and worry try to take up so much space within you that they impede your awareness. That's why I'm bringing clarity. I'm calming confused thoughts. I am strengthening your consciousness to recognize my voice. I am teaching you to realize that my presence is not dependent on perfect circumstances. My son, Elisha, did not ask for the army to disappear first. He asked for his eyes to be open. Because often change begins when your perception is transformed. The situation may continue to seem big, but your view of it changes when you understand who is by your side. You think you are surrounded only by trouble, but I tell you, you are surrounded by my presence. You think you are waiting for an answer, but I tell you, while you are waiting, I am already working. You think you are going through this phase alone, but I tell you, every step is being accompanied by me. I'm in your room to remind you that there's more going on than meets your eye. I am revealing a new perception. I am bringing a new consciousness. I am showing that my goodness is already present, even before that which you expect to manifest. My son, I have been good in your life in ways that you have not even noticed. Write in the comments, Amen, and proclaim with me my kindness to you. My son, mature faith does not depend only on what your eyes can see. It remains because it knows who I am. She remains steadfast because she knows that my presence does not disappear when night comes. You think you need to understand every detail of the path to keep walking, but I tell you, I often reveal the path as you take the next step. You think that the lack of answers means that I am not speaking, but I tell you, there are times when silence also carries a direction. I am teaching your soul to rest in me. I am teaching your heart not to be overwhelmed by fear of what has not yet happened. I am teaching you to look beyond circumstances and realize that there is a work going on in the unseen. My son, the night may seem long, but it never has authority over the dawn that I have established. No darkness can prevent the arrival of light. No waiting can cancel that which I am forming. No process can erase the purpose I have placed within you. You look at the dawn and think the day is far away, but I see the first signs of the morning coming. I see what is still hidden. I see what is still growing. I see what is still being prepared. Just as the seed remains underground before it breaks the surface, many things in your life are being formed in silence. You don't hear the root growing. You don't see the transformation happening. But when the time is right, what was hidden begins to appear. My son, do not despise the periods when everything seems to stand still. There are stations when I decrease the noise around you to increase the sensitivity within you. I remove some distractions so that your soul learns to recognize my voice. I allow some waiting so that your trust is not only built on results, but on relationship with me. Because if your faith depends only on what you receive, it will be fragile. But when your faith is grounded in who I am, it remains even when the scene changes. You think you are waiting for a change, but I tell you I'm already changing you. During this waiting, you think you are just going through a difficult phase, but I tell you I'm already using this phase to strengthen your inner structure. You think you have lost control of the situation, but I tell you, I have never lost control of your story. I know every season. I know every time. I know every detail that needs to be adjusted before what I have prepared reveals itself. My son, trust in the dawn process. The flower does not force its opening ahead of time. The tree does not hasten its fruits. Nature rests because it knows that there is an established order. In the same way, I am leading you. I'm working at the perfect pace. I am strengthening its roots before revealing its fruits. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do everything. Psalm 37:5. My son, this message is not for everyone. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My son, my voice is greater than any opinion. Before the world told you who you should be, I already knew the essence I put within you. Before anyone pointed out their limitations, I already saw possibilities that no one else could see. You think that the words you have received define your identity, but I tell you, no human word has the power to erase that which I have established about you. Maybe you've carried phrases you've heard for many years. Maybe someone told you you couldn't do it. Maybe someone made you believe that your mistakes were greater than your ability to start over. Maybe you've gotten used to looking at yourself through the wounds that other people have left. But I want to touch your soul and remind you of a truth. You were not born to bear names that I never put upon you. You think it is your rejection, but I tell you, you are someone loved by me. You think it is your past, but I tell you, I see the purpose that is still being revealed. You think it is that which you have lost, but I tell you, I see that which is still being formed within you. My son, many people only look at the surface. They observe achievements, appearance, position, and results. But I see places that no one can reach. I see your intentions. I see their silent struggles. I see the moments when you chose to keep going, even when no one was looking. I see the heart that keeps pursuing the truth. When Samuel sought the one who would be king, human eyes sought strength and appearance. But I have shown that my choice is not based on what people can see. I choose to look at the heart. For the Lord does not see as man sees. Man sees what is before his eyes, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. My son, I am restoring the way you see yourself. I'm removing layers of insecurity that have accumulated over the years. I'm breaking thoughts that made you believe that you needed to be accepted by everyone to be worthwhile. You don't need to run after the approval of those who don't know your essence. A seed does not need to convince anyone that it has life. It simply remains in the place where it was planted until what exists within it is revealed. So are you. There is something within you that I have put into that no criticism has been able to destroy. There is an identity that no rejection has been able to erase. There is a life that continues to grow even after the difficult seasons. My son, stop looking at yourself only with the eyes of those who have not understood your journey. Look at yourself through my perspective. I don't just see where you fell. I see every time my hand has lifted you up. I don't just see its flaws. I see my grace at work in you. I don't just see your past history. I see the purpose that continues to be built in the secret. My child, I am birthing a new station within you. Perhaps your eyes are still looking at that which is left behind. But I tell you, do not allow an old phase to make you believe that there is no more beauty ahead. You think your best days are lost in the past. But I tell you, there are seeds of new beginnings growing within your soul. I have not finished my work on you. I haven't closed the chapters I'm still writing. I didn't finish what I started when I touched your heart. My son, nature reveals something profound. No tree remains in bloom all year round. There are times when the branches seem empty, the leaves fall, and everything seems to be still. But life is still hidden in the roots. Winter does not mean death. Winter is a silent preparation. While the eyes see the absence of fruit, I see strengthening happening beneath the earth. So is his journey. You think you have lost your ability to flourish, but I tell you, I am strengthening your roots. You think that nothing new can be born after so many losses, but I tell you, my presence brings life even to places that seem forgotten. You think that your history was marked only by what has passed, but I tell you, there is a new season being formed within you. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it will come forth into the light. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. My child, realize what I am already doing. I'm renewing thoughts that have stuck in the past. I am bringing hope to areas where sadness has tried to remain. I'm strengthening emotions that have been weakened by the battles. I am awakening a deeper faith within your heart. The new season doesn't start around you first. It starts within you. Before changing external circumstances, I work on your perception. Before opening new doors, I prepare your steps to pass through them. Before I place new fruits in your hands, I strengthen the roots that will sustain those fruits. My son, you wanted to see spring coming quickly, but I was taking care of the process that happens before it. The seed does not complain about the time it spends underground. It remains because there is a life being formed within it. You also need to remember that quiet periods are not empty. I am present in the stations that you understand and also in those that you do not understand. I'm at dawn and also at dawn. I am when the fruits appear and also when the roots are growing. Do not despise the place where I have placed you now. There is a preparation going on. There is a transformation happening. There is a new perception being born within your soul. My child, I am removing that which belongs to an old season, and I am strengthening that which belongs to the purpose that I have put in you. His story did not end in winter. The spring that I have formed begins first in the heart. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My son, I am working on the right time. Each day of waiting is forming something that you may not yet realize. You look at the time that has passed and tell what has not yet happened. But I look at what is already being built within you. You think that waiting has taken something away from you, but I tell you, waiting has revealed parts of your soul that would not have been discovered otherwise. You think you have stood still while others have moved forward. But I tell you, each person has a path, a station, and a process before me. Don't compare your walk to anyone else's. A tree does not grow by looking at another tree. It simply remains planted, receiving what it needs to grow in the given time. So are you, my son. There are promises that need preparation before they become reality. Not because I have forgotten them, but because I know the weight of what I am forming. You wanted the answer, but I was preparing your structure. You wanted the door open, but I was strengthening your hands to sustain it. You wanted to reach the destination, but I was transforming you along the way. David received a promise before he was given a throne. He was anointed, but then returned to the field. He faced challenges, waited, was persecuted, and passed through places that seemed far removed from what I had declared. But each stage was forming the king that needed to exist before occupying the throne. The field was not a delay. Persecution was not the end. The wait did not cancel the promise. She revealed the preparation. My son, maybe you are living in a period in which you do not understand why some things have not yet happened. Maybe you're asking why a door keeps closed or why an answer hasn't arrived yet. But I tell you, silence does not mean forgetfulness. A seed does not cease to have life because it has not yet appeared on the surface. A root does not stop growing because no one can see it. And a promise does not cease to exist because the time has not yet come. I'm working on details that you don't realize. I'm aligning circumstances. I'm maturing your vision. I am strengthening your faith because there are things you asked for when you still saw only part of the story. Now I'm broadening your perception so that you understand beyond what your eyes can reach. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he leaned down to me and heard my cry. Psalm 41. My son, I have heard your prayers. I know every request you made in silence. I know every tear that fell while you waited. No prayer was forgotten. Not a moment was wasted. You think you are just waiting, but I tell you, you are being prepared. The weight in my hands is never empty. It is the place where your faith takes root, where your trust matures, and where your soul learns that my presence is greater than any answer you receive. My child, I am restoring the peace that fear has tried to steal from your heart. I know how many times your mind has tried to find answers to everything, trying to predict every detail, trying to control every situation to feel safe. But I tell you, true security is not born when you can control everything. True security is born when your soul rests, knowing that I am taking care of everything. You think you need to have all the answers to have peace, but I tell you, my presence is enough, even when you still don't understand the way. You think you need to know how it will all end, but I tell you, you need only remember who is walking with you. My son, fear, tries to make you live in places that don't yet exist. It takes your mind to possibilities, worries, and scenarios that may never happen. He tries to steal the present moment because he knows that there is strength when you remain aware of my presence. But I am bringing you back to the place where your soul finds rest, the place of trust, the place of delivery, the place where you understand that you do not need to carry alone what has always been in my hands. You think that peace will come when the problem disappears, but I tell you, my peace is already coming as you go through the problem. I didn't promise a life without winds, but I promised to be the shelter during the winds. I didn't promise that no night would come, but I promised to stay with you until dawn. Just as a firm house does not depend on the absence of storms, but on the depth of its foundations, I am strengthening your soul so that circumstances no longer rule your feelings. You will keep him in peace, whose mind is set on you, for he trusteth in thee. Isaiah 26:3. My son, I am touching your mind now. I'm calming racing thoughts. I'm bringing tranquility to areas where anxiety has tried to make a home. I'm reminding you of things that fear has tried to erase. You've gone through days where you thought you couldn't win, but you've made it this far. You have gone through moments that seemed impossible, but my hand has sustained you. It wasn't just his strength. It wasn't just his ability. It was my presence. My child, do not allow fear to speak louder than my voice. Fear says, you won't make it. I say, I'm with you. Fear says, you are alone. I say, I have never abandoned you. Fear says, everything is out of control. I say, I keep holding on to your story. My peace does not depend on what happens around me. It is born from the certainty that I am present in the midst of everything. I am in your room, reaching out to your heart, restoring your tranquility, and reminding you that there is a resting place prepared for your soul. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments, God cares for me, and prophesy this truth about your own life. My son, do not look only at what has not yet arrived. I want you to notice what is already happening as you walk. You think that the period between the promise and the fulfillment is just a wait, but I tell you, this path is also part of the promise. It is on this path that I strengthen your faith. It is on this path that I reveal parts of your identity that were still hidden. It is on this path that I teach your heart to trust me more than circumstances. My son, many people want to reach their destination, but they don't realize that the path there also has a purpose. You want there's a final answer, but I am working on every detail of the journey. You think preparation is a pause, but I tell you preparation is movement. You think that nothing is happening because the scenario remains the same, but I tell you, there's a deep work happening within you. A tree does not appear strong on the first day the seed is planted. Before the fruits, there are roots growing. Before the shadow, there is a hidden process. So is your life. You're putting down roots in places where no one can applaud. You are learning lessons that would not be learned in easy times. You are developing a faith that does not depend only on visible results. My son, I walked with Abraham when he went out without knowing all the details of the way. I walked with Joseph as he passed through places that seemed contrary to the dream he had received. I walked with David when he was away from the throne, living days that didn't seem to match the promise. In all these moments I was present. The promise was not only in destiny. The promise was also in the transformation that took place along the way. You think you need only receive something from my hands, but I tell you, I am also forming something within you. I'm strengthening your patience. I'm deepening your confidence. I am teaching your soul to stand firm even when your eyes still do not see the answer. My son, do not allow anxiety to make you despise the process. A fruit, harvested ahead of time, may not reveal all its sweetness. There's a right time to mature, so it is with that which I am forming. I know the perfect timing. I know the right measure. I know what your heart can receive. You think you are far from what you want, but I tell you, each step of fidelity brings you closer to what I am building. You think you are just going through ordinary days, but I tell you, there are ordinary moments that carry eternal changes. I am with you between promise and fulfillment. I'm on the way. I'm in the process. I am at every stage that your soul goes through. My eyes have seen your body still formless, and in your book, all these things were written. Psalm 139:16. Nothing in your history is outside of my care. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My son, I am transforming places of pain into places of maturity. What you call suffering, I often use as a ground where new forces start to be born. You think that difficulty has come only to take something away from you, but I tell you many times it has come to reveal something that I have already put within you. There are capacities, strengths, and depths that remain hidden until life presents moments that require them to be revealed. You don't know all the force that exists within a root until the winds begin to blow. You don't know all the resistance of a tree until it faces a storm. So it is with your soul. You think the storm has revealed your weakness, but I tell you, many times it has revealed the strength that was being formed in silence. My son, I have not wasted a moment of your journey. Those difficult nights were not ignored. Those hidden tears were not forgotten. Those questions asked in silence came to me. I was there when you didn't understand. I was there when you felt fear. I was present when your own view of you began to diminish. But I kept seeing what you couldn't see yet. Peter got into the boat, believing that safety was only where his feet were touching. But when I called him to walk on the water, he had to discover that his true safety lay not in the stability of the environment, but in trust in my word. The storm revealed an area of his heart that needed to be strengthened. So are you. There are situations that reveal where your confidence still needs to grow. There are moments that show where your soul still needs to rest. There are stations that reveal parts of you that need to be surrendered completely to me. You think you've lost control, but I tell you, I was teaching you to rest in my hands. You think you have lost security, but I tell you, I was building a deeper dependence on me. You think you've lost paths, but I tell you, I was removing distractions to bring you closer to the purpose. My son, a tree that grows in a windless place may seem strong, but its roots may remain shallow. When the winds come, it reveals its true structure, but the one who faced storms and stood firm developed deep roots. I'm strengthening your roots. I am deepening your faith. I am forming within you a firmness that does not depend on circumstances. Perhaps you do not yet see external changes, but I am working in deep regions of your soul. You don't see a root growing, but it's working. You don't see a seed changing, but it is alive. You don't see all the movements that happen in the unseen, but I do. My child, do not judge my work by the scene that is before your eyes. The process that seems difficult today can reveal a maturity that you would never have developed without it. I keep transforming your story. I keep using each station. I keep revealing purpose where you saw only pain. My son, I am working where your eyes do not reach. You often believe that you need to be seen by people in order to be of value, but I want to remind you of a profound truth. Before anyone recognizes that which exists within you, I already know every detail of your essence. You think you have been forgotten because no one has noticed your effort, but I tell you, no gesture done sincerely goes unnoticed before me. I saw when you helped and no one thanked you. I saw when you stood firm and no one recognized your courage. I saw when you kept walking even without receiving a word of encouragement. My son, the silence of the people has never meant the silence of my gaze. While some did not see, I was watching. While some ignored it, I was forming. While some looked out, I was working inside. David was in the field, tending the sheep, when his family received a visit from the prophet. His own brothers were before the eyes of those who were looking for a king. But David was not there among them. To human eyes, he seemed forgotten, but in my eyes, he was being prepared. The field where no one saw importance was the place where I strengthened their courage. The simple place where he faced lions and bears was the place where his confidence was being built. Before facing a giant in front of everyone, he had to win battles in secret. My son, you think that the place where you are is too small to have purpose. But I tell you, hidden places are often where I prepare great transformations. You think you are late, because no one has recognized your moment. But I tell you, I know the right time to reveal what I have put in you. A seed does not complain because it is underground. It doesn't compare to other seeds that have appeared on the surface. She stays because she knows that there is a life being formed within her. So are you. Don't let comparison steal your peace. Don't let the lack of recognition make you doubt your worth. I don't just prepare people in prominent places. I prepare people in the secret, where character is strengthened and where motivation is purified, because what is born just to be seen by people does not remain when the applause disappears. But that which I build within you remains even when no one is looking. My son, anonymity is not abandonment. Silence is not forgetting. Waiting is not rejection. There are times when I hide you not to diminish your importance, but to protect what I am forming. A young tree needs time before it can withstand big winds. A root needs to grow before it can bear great fruit. And a soul must mature before it can carry that which I prepare. I'm taking care of every detail. I'm seeing every tear. I'm following every step. There is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name, my child. My restoration begins within. Before changing what is around you, I begin by touching what happens within your soul. Because a person may have new opportunities before their eyes, but if they still carry a broken view of themselves, they will continue to live attached to old wounds. You think you must first change to be loved, but I tell you, my love is what transforms you. You think you need to prove your worth in order to receive acceptance, but I tell you, you have been seen by me before you have even tried to achieve anything. My son, you have often become your own accuser. You repeated within your mind words that once hurt your heart. You carried old guilt as if it were part of your identity. But I'm separating what has happened to you from what you really are. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the rejection you received. You are not the difficult phase you went through. You are someone I keep forming. You think that your marks diminish your value, but I tell you, some marks reveal the depth of the restoration that I am already doing. When I looked at Jacob, I didn't just see his wrong choices. I saw someone in the process of transformation. He carried a past marked by deception, fear, and insecurities, but I did not end his story at that point. I touched your identity. I changed your name. I revealed that he didn't have to continue living, stuck in the old version of himself. My son, I am also touching names that have been put on you. The name of guilt, the name of disability, the name of the rejection, the name of failure. I am removing these weights from your soul, because they have never been the truth that I have declared about you. You think the past has the authority to define your future, but I tell you, my grace is greater than any ancient chapter. You think that your failures have determined your limit, but I tell you, I keep working on you. A rough stone does not reveal its beauty until it has undergone a transformation process. It needs to be worked on, molded and revealed until it shows what was hidden inside it. So is your life. The lawsuits you faced were not only difficult moments, They were also places where I was removing excesses, strengthening their essence, and revealing a deeper identity. My son, I know who you are when no one is looking. I know your sincere wishes. I know your internal struggles. I know the part of you that is still trying to believe again. I'm healing the way you look at yourself. I am bringing a closer vision of what I have always seen. Because before you see yourself, I already knew you. Before you believed in yourself, I had already put purpose within you. And this restoration that begins on the inside continues to reach every area where you have learned to doubt your own worth. My son, the desert may seem like a place where everything has diminished, but I tell you, it is often in this place that I increase what really matters within you. You think you have lost resources, but I tell you, I am revealing sources that you did not yet know. You think you are walking through an empty place, but I tell you, there is a depth being formed in your soul. The desert takes away what distracted your attention to reveal what sustains your life. When many things around you cease to respond as before, your soul learns to seek that which remains. My son, I have not allowed some difficult seasons to take you away from me. I allowed it to bring your heart closer to what really has value. In the wilderness, Moses left behind the identity he had built in the palace and discovered a new dependence on my presence. He thought his story had taken a different path, but I was preparing a man who would carry a greater mission. The place that seemed to hide Moses was, in fact, forming Moses. So are you. You think that you are in a place where no one sees, but I tell you, there are secret places where I prepare people to live that which they have not yet understood. You think the desert is delaying your life, but I tell you it is deepening your faith. You think scarcity reveals abandonment, but I tell you it reveals where your confidence really is. My son, a seed does not begin its transformation when it appears above the earth. It begins the moment it is placed in the hidden place. First come the roots, then comes the growth. Then the fruits appear. There is an order in my action. I am not in a hurry because I know the complete process. You look at a moment and see only absence. I look at that same moment and see preparation. You look at a closed door and see a limitation. I see a protection. You look at a silent phase and see abandonment. I see a deeper encounter between us. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I strengthen you and help you and uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Isaiah 41:10. My son, I am sustaining you in the desert. I'm taking care of the areas that look dry. I'm bringing life to places where you thought nothing else could grow. The desert does not define its history. The desert does not determine your future. The desert is just a season where I reveal who I am and who you are becoming. I am teaching your soul to depend less on circumstances and more on my presence. Because when you learn that I am enough, no place can steal your hope. You're not just traversing a desert, you're being prepared in it. You're not just waiting for a change, you are being transformed during this wait. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, God has chosen me, and live that truth every day. My son, I am rebuilding you from within. Before restoring that which appears to people's eyes, I work in the deep parts of their souls, in the places where no one can reach and where only my presence fully knows. You think that the greatest loss was what happened around you, but I tell you, often the greatest restoration begins when I heal what has happened within you. You look at what was broken and remember the pain. I look at that which has been broken and see a space where my grace can rebuild. You think that some areas will never come back to life, but I tell you, I am the one who gives birth to hope in places where it seemed that there was nothing else. My son, Nehemiah, looked at a destroyed city. He saw walls torn down, doors burned, and marks of great loss. But while many saw only ruins, I awakened within him a vision of restoration. Because that which seems lost in human hands is still possible in my hands, so is his story. You think your family can no longer be restored. You think that your heart will never be the same after so much pain. You think your dreams are stuck in a past that doesn't come back. But I tell you, I am not limited by the size of the ruins. I don't need a perfect setting to start a work. I don't need everything to be organized to move on with your life. I often start in the very place where you believe nothing else can happen. My son, a rebuilt house starts with small details, one stone placed at a time. A foundation strengthened before the walls appeared, so also I'm working in you. I'm reconstructing thoughts, I'm restoring emotions. I am strengthening areas of your identity that have been weakened by difficult experiences. You wanted me to change everything quickly, but I know the depth of transformation your soul needs. Because I don't just want to fix a part of your life. I want to restore your sight. I want to restore your hope. I want to restore your confidence. You think you need to recover exactly what you have lost. But I tell you, sometimes I don't just give back what has been lost. I build something new and deeper. Joseph did not return to the place where he began. Job did not end his story the same way he began. People who have found my presence have never remained the same. Because when I go into a story, I don't just repair the outside, I transform the root. My child, do not allow the size of the problem to be greater than your perception of who I am. The stone before you may seem large, but my hand is still larger. The past may have left its mark, but my restoration is reaching your soul. I'm working while you think nothing happens. I'm rebuilding while you still look at the pieces. I am preparing a new structure within you. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Stay, my son, I am renewing your mind. I am entering the places where old thoughts have tried to make their home, and I am bringing my light to reveal that which never belonged to you. You think that some ideas are part of who you are, but I tell you, not every thought that has crossed your mind was born of truth. There are words that you have heard so many times that you have started to believe them. There are memories that have repeated themselves so much that they seem to define his identity. There are fears that have lingered for so long that they seemed impossible to overcome. But I am showing you that an invisible prison can also be opened when my truth enters. My son, a window closed for many years may seem impossible to open, but when the light meets a small opening, the darkness begins to lose space. This is what happens within your soul. I'm bringing light. I'm revealing thoughts that have diminished you. I am removing beliefs that have made you forget the value I have placed within you. You think you will always be stuck in the past, but I tell you, the past may explain some marks, but it does not have the authority to control your identity. You think your failures have written the last word on your life, but I tell you, my grace keeps writing new chapters. My son, you are not what happened at your worst. You are not the harsh word that someone said about you. You are not the abandonment you faced. You are not the guilt you have carried for years. You are someone I keep forming. You are someone my hand keeps touching. You are someone my presence keeps restoring. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. My truth doesn't just inform your mind. My truth transforms your way of seeing life. When you understand who I say you are, many chains begin to lose strength. Fear loses ground, insecurity loses control. Guilt ceases to control your steps. Because you start walking, not based on what you feel, but based on what I have declared. My child, I am healing your consciousness so that you will perceive my presence at every step of your journey. I'm teaching you to replace thoughts of defeat with thoughts of hope. I am strengthening your soul so that it will not be led by the voices of fear. I'm reminding you that there is an identity greater than all the experiences you have lived. A buried seed may seem small and unimportant, but within it, there is a life that is yet to be revealed. So are you. There are parts of you that have been hidden by pain, but I am bringing to light again that which I have placed within you, my child. Allow my truth to reach the places where doubt has tried to dominate. Allow my voice to be stronger than all other voices. I am freeing your soul from the lies that have tried to trap you. I'm restoring your sight. I'm renewing your mind. I am leading you to a deeper understanding of who you really are in me. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine. By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My son, I strengthen roots before I deliver fruit. I know the depth of what I'm forming in you, and that's why I don't always respond at the pace your anxiety desires. You think that delay means that I have forgotten, but I tell you, often delay is the place where I prepare that which you cannot yet carry. You think that silence means absence, but I tell you, there are times when silence is the environment where your faith grows, just as a seed remains hidden before it appears on the surface. Some answers first begin within your soul before they are revealed before your eyes. My child, you often look only at that which you are waiting to receive, but I am also looking at that which you need to become, because a blessing without preparation can become a burden. An open door without maturity can be difficult to sustain. That is why I work first on the inside. I strengthen your structure. I mature your vision. I teach your heart to stand firm. You think that I am holding on to what you have asked for, but I tell you, I am taking care that it does not destroy that which I am building in you. Hannah shed her tears before me for years. She carried a deep desire and often felt that her prayer had not been heard. But I was working on a bigger story than she could see. While she was waiting, I was forming something. As she wept, I was preparing a purpose. As she asked when it would happen, I was leading every detail. My son, your waiting also has meaning. You think you are just waiting for an answer, but I tell you, you are living a process of transformation. I'm using this time to reveal your dependency. I'm using this time to strengthen your confidence. I am using this time to teach your soul to rest in me. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show unto thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. Jeremiah 33:3. I know what you asked for. I know what you expect. I know the words you spoke in prayer, and also those that remained only within your heart. None of them went unnoticed. My son, some answers I deliver changing circumstances. Other answers I deliver by changing you. Sometimes the greatest answer is not just what comes into your hands, but what is born within your soul while you wait. You think you are in the same place, but I tell you, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. You think that nothing has changed because you have not yet seen the result, but I tell you, your view is already being transformed. Your faith is deeper. Your conscience is more sensitive. Your heart is learning to trust. Do not despise hidden time. Do not despise the silent process. There is life growing underground before the fruit appears. I continue to work. I keep listening. I continue to prepare. My son, I am writing new meanings within your walk. What you see is a story marked by pain. I see as a story where my presence continues to reveal transformation. You think that what happened was the end, but I tell you, some experiences that seemed to close chapters were just preparing new pages. You think that loss was the last word, but I tell you, my faithfulness keeps writing after what you have called defeat. My son, do not surrender your hope to the present moment. The moment you are living in is only part of the story. It is not the whole book. You look at a page marked by tears and believe that all the next pages will be the same. But I see beyond that chapter. I see paths that are yet to be revealed. I see forces that will still be awakened. I see a new perception being born within your soul. Job knew days when all seemed to have been lost. He faced questions, pain, and moments when he didn't understand what was happening. But even in the middle of the darkest night, something inside him remained steadfast. He declared, I know that my Redeemer lives and that he will eventually rise upon the earth. Job 19:25. The pain could not extinguish his hope. The loss could not extinguish his faith. Suffering could not cancel out what I was still doing. My son, I know the difficult chapters of your life. I know the goodbyes that hurt. I know the dreams that seemed to be behind me. I know the prayers you said without knowing when the answer would come. But I want you to remember, a long night does not mean that the dawn has ceased to exist. The dawn may seem endless, but it has a set limit. Light always finds a way. So too is my work in you. You think you are stuck in a dead-end phase, but I tell you, there are seeds of hope growing even in this place. You think your story was defined by the scars, but I tell you, your scars are not the end. They are marks of a journey you have gone through. I didn't waste any tears. I didn't ignore any difficult moment. I didn't let any detail go unnoticed. All that you have given to me continues to be worked on by my hands. My son, I am transforming your way of looking at your own history. I'm showing that not everything that hurt came to destroy. Some pain has made room for a depth you would never have known. Some losses revealed forces that were hidden. Some apparent endings opened doors to new beginnings. You are not defined by the most painful chapter. You are someone who continues to be formed by my grace. I'm still writing. I'm still working. I'm still revealing that your story has more chapters than you can see. Right now. Few get to this point in the message, my son, but you arrived, and that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My son, I am training your spiritual eyes to see my hand even when the scenario seems otherwise. I want you to understand something profound. Not everything that happens before your eyes reveals everything that is happening in the invisible. You think you know the whole story because you have seen only a part, but I tell you, I know chapters that you have not yet read. You think that a closed door means that you have missed an opportunity, but I tell you, a few closed doors were my way of protecting your steps. You think that a loss means that something has been taken from you, but I tell you, some losses have made room for something that you could not yet receive. My child, your vision is limited by the present moment, but my vision reaches the beginning, the middle, and the end. You look at a small piece of a great work and think that there is a mistake. But I see the whole picture. I see connections that you don't notice. I see paths that have not yet appeared. I see hidden purpose in situations that seem meaningless. For we walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Faith does not mean closing one's eyes to reality. Faith means recognizing that there is a reality greater than what your eyes can reach. My son, when Abraham looked at an unknown land, he did not possess all the answers. When Joseph looked at a prison, he could not imagine the palace that would come next. When Moses looked out into the wilderness, he did not know that this place would be the beginning of a great mission. They didn't see all the details, but they trusted in me. So are you. You think you need to understand everything to go on, but I tell you, some answers come as you walk. I am teaching your soul to recognize my presence before you see the result. I'm strengthening her confidence so that she doesn't depend solely on circumstances. I'm showing that the invisible is also real. My son, a root grows hidden under the earth. No one sees it, no one applauds it, no one perceives its strength being formed. But when the winds come, it is the depth of these roots that supports the tree. So also is the work that I am doing in you. You think that nothing has changed because you still do not see fruit, but I tell you, there are roots being strengthened. You think you're standing still because the scenario remains the same, but I tell you, there is movement going on within your soul. I'm changing your perception. I'm maturing your faith. I'm teaching you to see beyond appearances. My child, do not allow what your eyes see to be greater than what I am revealing to your heart. The scenario may change. Circumstances can change. But my presence remains the certainty that sustains you at all times. My son, I don't want to just hand things to you. I want to train you. Because what I build within you is more important than anything your hands can receive. You think that achievement is only in what you achieve, but I tell you the greatest achievement is to become the person I am forming. You think your worth increases when someone recognizes you, but I tell you, your worth existed before any applause, before any result, before any achievement. My son, a tree is not defined only by the fruits that appear on its branches. There is a story going on underground. There is a root being strengthened. There is an invisible structure supporting what everyone can see. So is your life. You look at what people can see, but I look at what is being built within your soul. Amijah, I see your transformation. I see your maturity. I see your silent walk. I see every moment you chose to keep going, even when no one noticed. You think you need to become someone important to be loved, but I tell you, you are loved while you are being formed. Before you do, you need to know who you are. Before you build, you need to have fundamentals. Before you carry great responsibilities, your identity needs to be grounded in me. Because when your identity depends only on what you do, any loss can make you believe that you have lost who you are. But when your identity is in me, you understand that no phase changes the value I have placed within you. My son, many people spent their lives trying to prove that they were enough. They have run after recognition, approval, and acceptance, but they have forgotten that there is a deeper source of security. My presence. You think you need to convince the world of who you are, but I tell you, you need only remember what I have already stated about you. I don't see you just for the present. I see the seed of purpose that I have placed within you. I see possibilities where you see limitations. I see growth where you see weakness. I see a story being built where you see only unfinished processes. My child, I am leading you to a deeper identity in me. An identity that does not depend on opinions. An identity that does not change with circumstances. An identity that remains firm even when the surrounding scenarios transform. You think you need to find your place in the world, but I tell you, before you can find a place, you need to remember who you belong to. The root of a tree does not have to appear to have value. It fulfills its function in silence, sustaining all life that will be revealed later. So, also, is what I am doing in you. I am strengthening your essence. I am restoring your sight. I am teaching your soul to rest in the truth that you are more than what you have accomplished or failed to accomplish. You are a work that continues to be formed by my hands. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, I trust in God's action. My son, the weight has revealed who you are when no one is looking. She showed what existed within you when there was no applause, when there were no immediate answers, when only your faith and my presence sustained your steps. You think that the silent days were of no importance, but I tell you, it was in those days that I formed parts of your soul that would never be built in moments of ease. You think you were just waiting, but I tell you, you were growing. You think you were standing still, but I tell you, your roots were deepening. You think you were wasting time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. My son, there is a difference between visible movement and true transformation. Often, what seems slow to your eyes is happening deep within you. A tree doesn't just grow when its branches appear. It grows when its roots find depth. A house does not stand firm just because it looks beautiful. It remains because there is a structure supporting each part. So is your life. I was strengthening its structure. I was working on thoughts that needed to be renewed. I was dealing with emotions that you learned to hide. I was teaching your soul to trust me, even when you didn't have all the answers. My son, you wanted me to immediately remove all obstacles, but I was using some of them to reveal forces that were hidden within you. You wanted to get out of the process quickly, but I was using the process to prepare you. Because a faith that never goes through challenges can remain superficial, but a faith that goes through difficult periods learns to stand firm. I didn't allow every step to hurt you. I allowed it because I know what I am forming. Gold does not reveal its purity until it passes through the fire. Fire does not destroy that which is true. It removes that which does not belong. So it is with you. Some things have been removed. Some thoughts were broken. Some dependencies were revealed. Some illusions were left behind. Not because I wanted to diminish you, but because I wanted to free you to live a deeper identity. My son, I am already working on the unseen. As you look at the calendar, I look at the purpose. As you count the days that have passed,
I see the maturity that has been born. As you ask when something is going to change, I look at that which has already been transformed within you. You are not the same person who started this journey. You may not fully realize it yet, but your way of thinking has changed. His way of seeing has changed. His way of facing difficulties changed. This is also an answer. This is also careful. This is also my hand working. My son.
Do not despise the season that I have used to prepare you. The process that seemed hidden was building something that will remain when circumstances change. I'm revealing that the wait wasn't an empty space. It was the place where your faith took root, where your soul matured, and where I prepared you to recognize what is already happening. My son, that which tried to destroy your faith, became the place where your faith was strengthened. I want you to perceive something that you may not yet understand. The tears you shed were not signs of abandonment. They were marks of a walk where my presence remained with you. You think you cried alone, but I tell you, I was present in every moment when your strength seemed to fade. You think that no one has noticed your pain, but I tell you, I have known every detail that you have tried to hide. You think those difficult nights have been forgotten by time, but I tell you, I have never lost sight of what your soul has faced. My son, there are tears that fall from the eyes, but there are also tears that remain hidden within the heart. There are pains that you have never been able to explain. There are feelings that you kept because you believed that no one would understand. But I understood. Before you even found words to speak, I already knew the cry of your soul. You tell my wanderings, put my tears in your skin. Aren't they in your book? Psalm 56:8. I don't tell his story just for the moments of joy. I also know the valleys you have crossed. I know the days when you got up unwillingly. I know the moments when he smiled on the outside while fighting on the inside. I know the times when you thought about giving up, but found a small strength to continue. My son, you think that those experiences only took away from you, but I tell you, I was also building something inside you. The pain deepened his understanding. The pain increased his sensitivity. Pain has taught your heart to see people who also walk in silence. You may not understand it now, but a few tears prepared you to carry a compassion that did not exist before. I didn't waste any chapter of your story. I have not wasted any prayer made in the midst of suffering. I didn't waste any moment where you chose to trust, even without understanding. My son, you wanted me to immediately remove that which hurt, but I was doing something deeper. I was turning you into the midst of that which hurt, because there is a joy that depends on the circumstances, and there is a joy that is born from the certainty that I am still present. I am forming in you a deeper peace, a more mature hope, a faith that does not disappear when the winds change. You think you have lost your joy, but I tell you, I am revealing a joy that does not depend only on what happens around you. The person who has entered that difficult phase is not the same person who is coming out of it. You carry marks, but you also carry learning. You carry memories, but you also carry my transformation. I was in the valley. I was silent. I was there when you thought you couldn't take another step. And while you thought you were just surviving, I was sustaining your soul so that you would discover a strength that came from me. My son, I'm already working. I'm already restoring. I'm already driving. Perhaps your eyes are still waiting for something great to recognize my action, but I want to open your perception to that which has already begun. You think you need to see a great change to believe that I am present, but I tell you, often, the greatest transformation happens first in the silence of the soul. You think that the miracle is only in what comes into your hands, but I tell you, the miracle is also in what I have already transformed within you. Watch your walk. Notice how many times you believed you couldn't keep going and still found the strength to take another step. Notice how many situations seemed bigger than you did. And yet, you made it. You didn't get here alone. You think it was only your ability, but I tell you, my hand has sustained you in places where your own strength seemed to run out. My son, there are miracles that do not make noise. There are miracles that happen slowly, like a seed breaking through the earth. No one sees the exact moment when life begins within the seed.
But then the fruits reveal that something was happening from the beginning. So is your life. There are changes that I have already begun in regions that no one can see. I'm touching old thoughts. I am strengthening fragile areas. I'm bringing clarity to places where confusion once existed. You think you are waiting for the miracle to begin, but I tell you, there are signs of my work happening right now. Maybe you still worry about the same things, but you realize that your heart no longer reacts the same way. You may still face challenges, but you find that your faith is firmer. Maybe the circumstances are not completely different yet, but something inside you has started to change. And this change is also a miracle. My son, do not despise the small signs. A dawn doesn't happen all at once. First, there is a small brightness on the horizon. Then the light begins to occupy the sky until the night disappears. This is my action. I work in stages. I reveal it little by little. I build deeply. You think you need to understand the whole way before you can trust, but I tell you, trust grows when you recognize my presence in every little detail. I'm already taking care of it. I'm already preparing. I'm already moving what your eyes still can't perceive. The story of Lazarus seemed closed to human eyes. The stone was laid, the scenario seemed definitive, and everyone believed that there was no longer any possibility. But I am the one who calls life where everyone sees the end. I am the one who reaches places where no one else can reach. My child, do not limit my action by the size of the situation. Do not limit my presence by what you feel today. What seems impossible to you remains a place where my glory can be revealed. I am opening your eyes to realize that the miracle has already
Begun. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now. My son, there is a movement going on. There is a preparation going on. There is a work going on. Even when your eyes cannot perceive, my hand continues to guide every detail of your walk. You think you need to understand all the paths before you take the next step. But I tell you, often trust is born just when you walk, holding my hand without knowing all the details. Faith is not the absence of questions. Faith is the certainty that even when you don't see everything, I keep seeing. My son, Abraham, did not receive a complete map. He was given direction. He didn't know all the places he would pass. He didn't know all the challenges he would encounter, but he knew who had made the promise, and that was enough to keep going. So are you. You think you need to have all the answers to trust me, but I tell you, you need only remember that I know that which you do not yet know. I see the road before your steps. I see the doors before they appear. I see the meetings before they happen. I see that which is being formed before it is revealed. My son, you often look into the unknown and feel fear because your vision reaches only the next moment. But I am not limited by time as you are. I know the beginning. I know the process. I know fate. Therefore, that which seems uncertain to you continues to be known to me. You think you are walking in the dark, but I tell you, my presence is the light that guides your steps. You think you are directionless, but I tell you, I am teaching your soul to recognize my voice. You think you are expecting an external answer, but I tell you, I am strengthening your internal perception. My child, there's a place within you where the noise of the world tries to prevent you from perceiving my direction. There are many voices telling you what you should do. There are many fears trying to define their next steps. There are many concerns trying to occupy the space where there should be trust. But I am bringing silence to your soul. I'm teaching you to listen to what really matters. Like a seed that responds to the right environment to grow, your soul also responds when it remains connected to my presence. I am awakening a deeper spiritual sensitivity. I'm showing that not every answer comes in the form of immediate events. Sometimes the answer comes as peace. Sometimes the answer comes as a new understanding. Sometimes the answer comes as a strength you didn't have before. My child, do not despise what I am doing in the invisible. The natural eye may not notice, but the sky is not still, as long as you rest in me. I go on working. As long as you trust,
I keep leading. As you walk by faith, I continue to reveal that my presence has always been ahead of your steps. My son, not everything that came out of your life was loss. Some things were deliverances. I know that there are closures that hurt because your heart has become accustomed to people, places, and situations that were part of your journey. But I want to show you a deeper truth. Some doors that closed were not the end of your story. They were the beginning of a new direction. You think you have lost something important, but I tell you some things had to come out so that you could receive that which I was preparing. You think that cycle was your destiny, but I tell you it was just a season. A season has a beginning and an end. A tree does not remain with the same leaves during all seasons. There are times when old leaves fall, not because the tree has died, but because there is a renewal going on. So are you. There are things that I have allowed to end because they have already fulfilled the purpose they had in their lives. There are environments from which I took you because they no longer nourished what I was forming within you. There are paths that I have interrupted because I know places that your eyes cannot yet see. My son, you tried to hold some doors because you remembered what they represented in the past, but I know the future that you have not yet seen. You think that staying was security, but I tell you, some abiding prevents new beginnings. You think that losing a connection means losing a part of your story, but I tell you, your identity has never depended on a phase or a person. I am the one who sustains you in all seasons. Noah had to enter the ark and leave behind an ancient reality. He couldn't carry everything to the new place I was preparing. Abraham had to leave his land, leave familiarity, and walk toward a promise he could not yet fully see. Because some things need to be left behind so that the new can be born. Behold, the old things are passed away. Behold, all things have become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. My son, I do not take something out of purpose. I do not close a door without knowing the path that lies before it. I don't allow closure without taking care of the next chapter. You think that the end of a phase means emptiness, but I tell you, it is often space being created. Room for healing, room for growth, space for a new awareness of who you are. I'm already removing weights that you've carried for too long. I'm already clearing places within your soul where old pains have remained. I'm already bringing lightness to areas that were previously stuck in the past. My son, don't just look at what has gone. Notice also that which has been born within you after certain things have departed. Perhaps you have discovered a strength that you did not know you possessed. Perhaps you have found a faith that did not exist before. Perhaps he has learned to depend more on me than on circumstances. I keep leading your steps. I continue to prepare new paths. I continue to work even in the spaces left by the cycles that have ended. My son, because when you know that I am near, fear loses strength. When your soul recognizes my presence, circumstances cease to completely control your thoughts and feelings. I am restoring a meeting place between us, a place where you don't have to pretend, a place where you don't have to hide your pain, a place where you can get exactly as you are. You think you need to find perfect words to speak to me, but I tell you, I know your heart before your mouth even utters any words. You think you need to be strong to get closer to me, but I tell you, I approach precisely the places where you recognize that you need care. My son, many times the world has taught you to look for answers in noise. You look for distractions, you look for opinions, you look for signs everywhere. But I keep calling you to the secret, because it is in the secret that many roots are strengthened. It is in the secret that his soul finds rest. It is in the secret that his identity is remembered. Elijah knew moments of fatigue and fear. He faced great challenges and reached a place where his strength seemed to have run out. But I did not abandon him at that time. I went to meet him in the hidden place. I spoke to his heart when he needed to hear my voice. So also I am meeting you. You think your room is just an ordinary place, but I tell you, any place can become a meeting place when your soul opens up to me. I am present in silence. I am present in simple prayer. I'm there in that moment when you close the door and stop trying to look strong in front of people. But you, when you pray, go into your closet
And when you have shut the door, pray to your Father who is in secret. Matthew 6:6. My son,
I don't just want you to know things about me. I want you to realize that I am with you. There's a difference between knowing information and experiencing presence. A person may know about love, but it is different when he feels that love reaching into his own life. So it is with me. I don't just want to be remembered in times of need. I want to walk with you in the simple moments. I want to be present in your decisions. I want to touch your thoughts before fear takes over. I want to strengthen your soul before worry grows. You think you need to come to me, but I tell you, I am already drawing near to you. You think you are looking for my presence, but I tell you, my presence is already reaching your heart. My son, I am restoring an intimacy that worries, wounds, and the rhythm of life have tried to drive away. I am bringing you back to the place where your soul remembers that it has never been alone. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end. My son, what seemed like a coincidence, carried my direction. There are times when you look back and realize that some details that seemed small were
connected in a way that you couldn't see at that moment. You think you were just going on with life. But I tell you, my hand was leading steps that you didn't even notice. You think some encounters happened by chance, but I tell you, I was allowing connections that were part of the path. You think some closed doors were obstacles, but I tell you, many of them were protection. My son, I know ways that you have never known. I see dangers that your eyes can't reach. I know consequences that your mind never imagined. So sometimes I say no when your heart expected a yes. Sometimes I withdraw when you wanted to remain. Sometimes I direct you to a different path than the one you had planned. Not because I have failed to care for you, but because I know the destiny that lies before your steps. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3:6. My child. Recognizing my direction does not mean that you will always understand every move. A faith is not only built when everything makes sense. Faith grows when you trust, even when some pieces are still missing. You think you need to see the whole way to continue, but I tell you, I illuminate the next step. One light bulb does not illuminate the entire road at once. It reveals enough for you to keep walking. So is my conduction. I reveal at the right time. I show you what your soul is ready to understand. I open what needs to be opened. I close what needs to be closed. My son, maybe today you are looking back and remembering times when you asked, why did this happen to me? But I want to show a new perspective. That difficulty that seemed like a delay may have protected you. That unexpected change may have brought you closer to a new purpose. That loss that hurt may have created space for something that didn't fit before. You think you've lost control of your story, but I tell you, you've never been out of my care. Even when you have made difficult decisions, I have kept working. Even when you did not perceive my presence, I remained close. Even when you thought you were walking alone, I was sustaining your steps. My son, there are marks in your journey that make sense today because you can see with a broader vision, but there are other things that have not yet been revealed. Do not allow a lack of understanding to make you doubt my direction. The same God who cared for you yesterday continues to care for you today. I'm present in the details. I am present in the processes. I am present in the ways that you understand and also in those that still seem mysterious. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, I believe, Lord, and declare that you're ready for this new phase. My son, I have already started this preparation. I am increasing your discernment. I am strengthening your conscience. I'm teaching you to value what really matters. And I want you to understand something at this time, that you have come further than you think. You think that you can no longer wait, but I tell you, often the moment when the soul is most tired is the moment when it is closest to understanding what I am doing. Don't abandon the process now. Don't give up because of the last few steps. You think that delay means that nothing will happen. But I tell you, there are times when the deepest silence precedes a greater revelation. My son, I know the weight you have carried. I know the times when you asked if it was worth continuing. I know the moments when you looked at your walk and thought that perhaps you had waited in vain. But I want to touch your heart now and remember, no step has been lost. I was preparing you. While you were waiting for the answer, I prepared your ability to receive it. While you waited for the door to open, I strengthened your hands to support you. While you waited for the change to happen all around, I worked on the transformation that needed to happen within. You think that time has passed without purpose, but I tell you, each day has added something to the person you are becoming. My son,
There is a difference between receiving something and being prepared to stay with what you have received. That is why I have treated deep areas. That is why I allowed processes that taught your soul. That is why I strengthen your heart before I place something precious in your hands. Solomon could have asked for riches, longevity, or victory over his enemies, but he asked for wisdom. He understood that a prepared heart is more valuable than any achievement. Give therefore to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people. Word Kings 3:9. My son, I am doing the same work in you. I'm preparing your heart. I'm adjusting your vision. I am removing that which could prevent you from living with balance, that which I am forming. You think that the waiting was only about what you wish to receive, but I tell you, the waiting was also about who you needed to become. And now when you look back, you realize that you are no longer the same person who started this journey. There is more maturity. There is more depth. There is more awareness of my presence. My child, do not allow fatigue to make you abandon that which I am still completing. The longest night does not mean that the dawn will not come. Often, it is just before the light appears that the darkness appears most intense. But I keep working. I continue to prepare. I keep driving. What you asked for did not find only a door being prepared. He also found a heart being strengthened to receive. Deeper waiting is forming a deeper blessing, and what I am placing before you needs to find a version of yourself that is more prepared to live in this new time. My son, everything changes when you understand that you do not walk alone. But there is something even deeper that I want to reveal to your heart. You are not defined by what has happened to you. You are not the result of your mistakes. You are not the sum of your downfalls. You belong to me. You think you need to rebuild your identity based on what you have been able to do. But I tell you, your true identity was born before your achievements and remains beyond your failures. Before the world knew your name,
I already knew your essence. Before anyone pointed out your mistakes, I already saw the purpose I had placed within you. Before you knew how to walk, I already knew every step of your journey. My son, I do not call you by the name of your wounds. I don't call you by the name of your defeats. I don't call you by the name of your hardest moments. I call you by the identity that I have established. You think that your history has been marked by the past, but I tell you, your history continues to be written by my hands. You think that a fall has changed who you are, but I tell you, a fall does not erase that which I have built in you. Peter denied that he knew me, but I didn't just look at him in that moment of weakness. I looked at what he was yet to become. I saw beyond the fear. I saw beyond the flaw. I saw a heart that would yet be transformed. So also I see you. I see beyond your hard days. I see beyond your insecurities. I see beyond the words you heard that tried to diminish your value. My son, I am restoring the way you see yourself. I am removing the distorted image that pain has created within you. I am reminding your soul of a truth that time and hardship have tried to hide. You are loved. You are careful. You are known to me. You think you need to prove that you deserve to be accepted, but I tell you, my grace is not earned by performance. My love does not depend on your perfection. I don't love a future version of you. I love you while I'm forming you. I love you in the process. I love you as you heal your wounds. I love you as you learn to trust again. My son, a gemstone does not lose its value because it has been through difficult places. The process only reveals what already existed within it. So, it is with you. The difficult moments did not destroy his identity. They only revealed areas where my restoration could touch more deeply.
I'm bringing you back to the truth.
You are not rejected. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are my child. And when you understand this, no outside voice can define what I have already stated about you. My son,
I have come to this moment with you, and I want to thank you for staying with me until the end of this message. I know every minute that your attention has been here, and I know that your heart has received words that have been prepared to strengthen your soul. You didn't get here by chance. I allowed this message to find you because there was something your life needed to remember. I am present. My son, those who endure to the end carry a special blessing. Perseverance reveals a faith that endures even when there are doubts and difficult moments. I see your faithfulness and honor the heart that chooses to continue seeking my presence. What you heard today doesn't end on this screen.
my voice continues to work within you. I want you to keep this truth. You did not walk alone. I was in the room where her tears fell. I was in the moments of silence. I was holding your steps when you thought you couldn't keep going. My hand continues upon your life, and my love continues to reach your heart. My son, if this word spoke to you, write in the comments. I watched until the end and also put the city where you are. I want this moment to be a declaration of your faith and a testimony that you have remained until you have received all that I had prepared to speak to your heart. I also want to invite you to continue strengthening this journey. Like this video, share this message with someone who needs to hear a word of hope, and subscribe to this channel. When you do this, you help my word reach other hearts that may be going through difficult nights and needing to remember that I remain close. My child, never forget. That which I start, I sustain. That which I form, I take care of. That which I promise, I lead in perfect timing. You have gone through valleys, faced times of uncertainty, and carried weights that many people have never known, but my presence has remained with you at every step. I am blessing your mind with peace, your heart with hope, and your steps with direction. May you leave this message, remembering that you are not abandoned, that your story is still being written, and that there is a greater purpose happening even in the details that you do not yet understand. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here, because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater, and His presence is our strength. Trust Him, and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life, and see you in the next video.